Last week, we remembered Oscar Armstrong III. Today, we will remember Daryl, who gave his life in the line of duty on March 26, 2015. Hard to believe that Sunday marked 8 long years. Both good men taken from us much too soon. The Training Bureau would like to remember Daryl by discussing the events of his fire, those lessons learned, and things we could do today to honor his memory. This live Zoom presentation is also being live streamed on YouTube. Interaction is okay, and you're encouraged to ask appropriate questions through the chat feature in Zoom or the comment section on YouTube. Finally, after our presentation, take the time to drill on the objectives listed on a training bulletin sent in the email you received this morning. Flowing and moving an 1 3/4 inch line with 2 firefighters. Stationary flowing of an 1 3/4 inch line with 1 firefighter. How to communicate and effectively solve the problem of hose caught between the steps and a wall or under a door. And review our Mayday procedures found in Ops Manual section 203-0115. So take an hour or two today and drill to honor Daryl. You get a free pass from the daily hydrants and inspections. Hydrants and inspections are important, just not today. Today, Daryl is important. Eight years ago this week, Daryl left his wife, Angela, daughters, Angelique and Chelsea, learn the lessons that he gave his life to teach you. We talked last week about the dominoes from most line of duty deaths. Different fire, same dominoes that spiraled out of control. At Dahlgren, there are a lot of things we could have done better. First and foremost, this fire was not just another alarm drop, not just a simple food on a stove. That complacency led a firefighter to leave his officer to go check it out, forcing the Engine 49 officer to deploy that attack line by himself, prohibiting him from doing a 360 size up to find the location of the fire and the most direct access to the point of service and the seat of the fire. And it wasn't just Engine 49 who suffered from company integrity. 9 of 11 crews on the first and second alarm failed to maintain crew integrity, including Daryl and Heavy Rescue 14. A well-placed, appropriately staffed hose line putting water on the fire saves more lives than any other action performed by the fire department, period. If you have issues deploying an attack line as the first engine, you must communicate that, describe the problem, and ask for help from the second engine. Our knowledge, skill, and simple ability to use portable radios at this fire was deficient. And it was not because of the initial dispatch on a fire alarm, fire ground channel, and later switch to Command D. 10 minutes after dispatch, 57% of radios were on the wrong fire ground channel, including the acting officer of Engine 31 and the second in-district chief. 1 minute before the third alarm, or 23 minutes after dispatch, we still had 26% of the radios on the wrong fire ground channel. We had radios on Command B, Command C, Command G, and even one radio on B TAC 5. It took one radio, 24 attempts or channel changes to get to the correct fire ground channel. Acting officers are not used to communicating on the radio or supervising personnel. The first 2 engines did not effectively communicate or talk at all or work together to problem solve hose deployment issues. Remember, that is emergency traffic. Again, we suffered from premature horizontal ventilation prior to having working attack line at the seat of the fire. If you discover an outward swinging elevator door, it was not broadcast at this fire. It's now mandated emergency traffic. It's okay to use a rat and safety engine if the incident commander must. but you must replace them. The lack of a safety engine or rat on a scene led to significant accountability issues and delayed recognition of the downed firefighter. Remember that apartment doors, egress doors, bedroom doors generally open inward. Recognize that an outward swinging door is something different. Utility room, maintenance room, or in this case, an elevator door. And finally, if you cannot see your feet, you should not be on them, period. 6020 Dahlgren, 5-story type 2 construction, unprotected, built in 1962. Engine 49 laid off from Owasco. It came up the drive, parked about right here. Engine 31 had laid off from Ward and came up the drive as well. The structure itself is on grade. This is the Delta side. You go up steps to the Delta side stairwell, back on a Charlie corner. Same on the Bravo side, up a grade to the Bravo side door on a Charlie side. Floor 2 is grade level. It was dispatched at 0531 for a fire alarm with engine 49, truck 31 in District 4. It quickly upgraded at 5:34 hours to the full 1-alarm response due to multiple reports of smoke in the building. The fire is located in apartment 27. Female started cooking, went to bed, fell asleep. Progressed from the stove to the cabinets to the wretch of the kitchen, and eventually flashed into the living room. The official cause and origin: food left unattended on the stove. The floor plan: first floor, main entrance, went right down the middle, elevators in the middle, the Bravo stairs to the left, the Delta stairs to the right. The second floor, where the fire department was, apartment 27. Bravo stairs was the quickest and closest access. The Delta stairs, where the attack lines from engine 49 was brought in. This was the position of engine 49's apparatus. They laid a cross lay down the Delta side to the door on a Delta Charlie corner. This is the balcony to the second floor apartment. Significant heat damage to warped to steel. The patio door that was taken prematurely, and significant heat damage to the hallway on floor 2. Floor 5, Daryl came up the Bravo Charlie steps, the elevator on the Charlie side about midway. This interlock mechanism should have latched and prevented the door from opening up. The view from the elevator shaft from the 5th floor to the elevator car on floor 2. Engine 49 arrives on scene. Forward lays from Owasco with firefighter 2 at the hydrant, and positions in a parking lot away from the building near the dumpster per pre-plan. Engine 49's firefighter 1 leaves the apparatus to follow a female into the building who stated she burnt food on her stove. Engine 49's acting officer stretches an 1 3/4 attack line with a chief nozzle to the Charlie side of the building to the Delta stairwell per their pre-plan. Engine 49's FAO connects the supply line and assists the acting officer with the stretch of the attack line. Truck 31 arrives on scene next. They pull towards the Alpha side, stop just short of the main entrance. The Alpha team enters the front door and ascends up the Bravo stairs, where they're greeted with heavy smoke. The Bravo team attempts to use the aerial, but cannot fully extend the outriggers, so they use a ground ladder to rescue an occupant from apartment 24 balcony. Engine 31 arrives on scene next. They laid off and deployed their crosslay to the Delta side. But Engine 49's FAO said his officer needs help deploying the line. So they dumped their line on the retaining wall outside of the stairwell. Heavy Rescue 9 is next on scene. They enter the Alpha side, go to the Bravo stairwell, where they're met by Truck 31 Alpha. One firefighter stays with Truck 31, and the officer and two other firefighters continue towards the fire department. They attempt to close the apartment door, but the top third is burned through. They do a left-handed search, and the two firefighters enter the laundry room to conduct a search. Heavy Rescue 9 continues down the hallway and eventually runs into the lone Engine 49 acting officer near the delta end of the hallway. Heavy Rescue 9, for the first time, communicates to command hose deployment issues with the primary tack line. No one communicates what the actual hose deployment issue was. Rescue 9's officer crawls back to the fire department to check fire progression. Now the door is completely burned through. Engine 49 firefighter 2 arrives at floor 2 after laying off, tries to assist with advancing the line, but that charged line is stuck between the steps and the wall. It cannot be advanced any further. There is still no communication of the hose deployment issue and no attempt to solve the problem. Engine 49 firefighter 2 retreats back to the stairwell, grabs Engine 31's attack line from the bottom of the stairwell, returns to the hallway. But it too comes up short, and control of the nozzle is lost. Engine 49's acting officer's hand is burned, and firefighter 2's facepiece is dislodged in the struggle with the open valve. Engine 49's acting officer, Engine 49 firefighter 2, Engine 31's acting officer, Engine 31 firefighter 1 all bail out the Delta side stairwell to the Charlie side exterior. Rescue 9, crawling back towards the Delta side, meets up with firefighter 1 and firefighter 2 in the hallway near the laundry room. Rescue 9 Lieutenant, firefighter 1 and firefighter 2 continue down the hallway and now find not one but two attack lines, but both lines are abandoned. Rescue 9 Lieutenant opens Engine 49's attack line and flows water towards the fire department for about 30 seconds, significantly cooling the hallway. Truck 19 on a third alarm is assigned as a rat truck, but they did not arrive on scene after parking several blocks away at 6:14 hours. Engine 46 advances an attack line from Engine 49 in the front door to the Bravo side stairwell. They hand off that line to Truck 31 Alpha Team and Rescue 9 Firefighter 3. They call for water and get water on the fire from the interior at 05:59 hours, a staggering 28 minutes after dispatch. 6:04 hours, the fire is declared knocked down. There's still heavy smoke throughout the building, requiring searches of all 5 floors. At 6:04 hours, Rescue 14 also arrives on scene, parking several blocks away. They walk up the hill towards the structure. Heavy Rescue 14 enters the Alpha side, and the acting officer, Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2 charge their SCBA and head towards the Bravo stairwell. Daryl is last in line. He does not charge his SCBA yet. They've been assigned to search apartment 57 on floor 5. As they ascend the Bravo stairwell, the 2 victims from apartment 57 are escorted out by Truck 18's Firefighter 1, passing Heavy Rescue 14 in the stairwell, but not communicating that these were the occupants of apartment 57. Heavy Rescue 14 continues to floor 5 with the acting officer and Firefighter 1 searching apartment 57 and Firefighter 2 searching apartment 51. Daryl is still in the stairwell, masking up, and gets separated. After completing a search of apartment 57, 51, and 52, The acting officer, firefighter 1, and firefighter 2 come together in the hallway where they recognize an outward swinging elevator door with defective interlock mechanism. They mark it, notify District 3 face-to-face of the concern, and continue searching apartments towards the Delta stairwell. Daryl is not with them, and his location is unknown. The interlock mechanism was supposed to latch in the door to prevent that door from being opened if the car was not on that floor. They initially marked it with the yellow construction crayon. It was not showing up enough, so they used a black Sharpie to mark "Do Not Enter," open shaft. The view from the 5th floor. Truck 32 was assigned to search apartment 58. They complete that search, and firefighter 1 escorts the occupants to the Bravo stairs. On a return landing between floor 4 and 5, he sees FAO Gordon on landing above him at the 5th floor door. They have a conversation. Daryl asks, "Are you Rescue 14? Truck 32 firefighter 1 responds, "No, I'm with ladder 32. Who are you?" FAO Gordon replied, "I'm Daryl Gordon." Daryl heads back to the 5th floor hallway. This is the last reported contact with FAO Gordon. At 6:19 hours, search of the 5th floor is complete. Heavy Rescue 14 is at apartment 54 when they hear a request to prepare for a par and realize for the first time that Daryl was not with them. So they backtrack towards the Bravo stairwell looking for Daryl. At 6:22 hours, they hear a faint low air alarm coming from the elevator shaft. They look into the elevator shaft and see a fire helmet on top of the elevator car. 6:22:23. Mayday is broadcast. This is the hard part. This is Daryl's SCBA. 6:11 hours, he powered it on. Breathed air for about 2 minutes. Believed had fallen into the shaft. His motion alarm 1 minute later. The slight increase in pressure due to the compression between the elevator car and wall. 6:16 hours, catastrophic failure of the facepiece, causing free-flowing air. 6:22 hours, Mayday is broadcast. And when the accountability computer was finally turned on, at 6:31 hours, all of the alarms for FAO Gordon were received. There was a massive rescue response from all levels. Elevator doors were open on floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4. Daryl was wedged between the elevator car and the wall on the 2nd floor. From the 3rd floor above, SOC, Rescue 14, Firefighter 2, and Truck 32, Firefighter 1 worked to try to pull Daryl up from outside the wall. They attached webbing to his SCBA harness. They pulled so hard, they broke the harness. They pulled so hard, they broke the harness. On the 2nd floor, Engine 23's officer and FAO forced the door to the elevator car. They see on the inside a firefighter from Rescue 14 who dropped down from the floor above. He says, "Daryl is right here," pointing towards the back of the car. All they have is an axe. So the driver, Engine 23, starts beating on the back wall with an axe. That's all he has. He finally breaks through. So by hand, piece by piece, they start removing the rear wall of the elevator car. The remainder of the wall was removed, and FAO Gordon was brought into the elevator. "6:36 hours, Rat Chief report that FAO Gordon has been extricated. A phenomenal 14 minutes to extricate Daryl from the elevator shaft. He was loaded into Medic 19 and at 07:01 hours arrived at University Hospital. So what can we do? First and foremost, 44 lessons learned and 8 recommendations from the line of duty death report. Have you read them lately? Do we show up expecting fire? Do we show up expecting victims? Are we complacent? Have we developed a culture of normalization of deviance where I don't get dressed for an alarm drop and get away with it? Am I always ready? Do we have the discipline to stay together as a company? When we're faced with a smoke-filled environment, do we have a charged hose line? Again, we advance a dry hose line in smoke-filled conditions. And remember, it's okay to squirt high heat. When I came through drill school, we were taught, do not open that line until you see flames. We know more now. We know better now. If you're faced with angry, black, dark smoke in high heat conditions, flow the line. Are we coordinating all horizontal ventilation with an engine company ready to put water on the fire? Do we have the discipline to work together as the first engine and a second engine? Are we communicating any hose deployment issues? Asking for help. Can we mitigate that hose emergency? If I have hose stuck between the steps and a wall, can I kick it, fold it on top of itself to remove it from the obstacle? One of the proudest moments I had was about a year and a half later. Jeff McDonough said they made a fire in 6020 Dogwood, the exact same condition, hose caught between a step and a wall. He said, you had 2 new kids who in less than 30 seconds recognized it, communicated it, and solved the problem to free the hose from the wall because they practiced, they drill, they understand what to do with the hose emergency. Do you know when to broadcast emergency traffic? Are you proficient at navigating through the fireground channels and know when to switch to the Mayday channel? And remember, if you're the router safety engine and command puts you to work, make sure you let him know, hey boss, we were the rat. Hey boss, we were the safety engine. Make sure those vital companies are replaced. Both engines on the first alarm had acting officers. Are we trying to limit them or spread them out? Do we have an acting officer in charge of a yellow helmet? And the basic skills of firefighting are critically important. Engines, be good at laying hose lines, mitigating hose emergencies, being able to flow a line, being able to flow and move. Truck companies, forcing a door, throwing a ladder, conducting a search. Are we drilling every day for Oscar? Are we drilling every day for Daryl? Are we drilling every day for our family? Today, the outline, flow and move, 1 3/4 line, 2 firefighters, 50 feet. Practice 1 firefighter, flowing from a stationary position. The new video on how to mitigate a hose emergency with a hose caught under a door is now on our YouTube channel. Review your Mayday procedures and take time to look over the Daryl Gordon report. Once again, our great city turned out to honor their fallen hero. Our fire department honored our fallen brother. It was a beautiful service. Once again, the silence of the downtown streets was deafening. The respect the community showed for a great man. The entire procession route from St. Peter and Chains to the cemetery, lined with people paying their respects to a good man taken from us much too soon. The funeral service was a fitting tribute, and the homily by Reverend Winters was special. This clip brought many, including me, to tears. It serves as a great reminder to not only the sacrifice that Daryl made that day, but the calling each and every one of us has when we put on that uniform every third day.
The loss of a loved one, of a friend. Know that God is still with you. And for the men in blue, the women in blue, stay steady. We need you. We need you on that front line, because there are those who won't do it. Those are those who weren't called to do it. But you have been called to walk in the midst of danger and to do it with great professionalism, with great strength, with great competence, with great love for what you do, and it makes a difference. If you pass through raging waters, in the sea you shall not drown. If you walk amid the burning flames, you shall not be harmed. If you stand before the power of hell and death is at your side, know that God is with you through it all. Oh, be not afraid. God goes before you always. Come, follow me, and God will give you rest. So in the midst of hardship, God is there. Consolation, strength, refuge. A God who brings healing. The Almighty One. The one who says, I created it from the beginning of time. It was I who brought life. It is I who breathe you life. May you continue to walk, but never walk alone. For God is on your side. Someone say amen. So men and women of blue, continue to do what you do. For God has called you. God has called you to serve, to walk, to be credible witnesses of God's saving power. Someone say amen. Amen.
So today, go out and drill for Oscar. Go out and drill for Daryl. Honor their memory and their sacrifice by getting good at the basics of firefighting.